Hi, I'm Dan, the Rare Coin Man, and I'm also the webmaster of a new website called rarecoins101.com. In previous videos, I've been highlighting various coins that qualified for our key date list of recommendations. Now, how does a coin qualify to make this list? Well, it has to have really a mighty good track record of price appreciation over a very long period of time. Out of the thousands of collectible United States coins, only about 200 or so made the cut. So it really does take something special to qualify. Today, we're going to look at one of the rarest, most popular dates in the entire Barber coinage series, consisting of dimes, quarters, and half dollars, which were in production from 1892 to 1916. And that coin happens to be the famous 1901S quarter. In this video, we're going to look at the impressive value trend record of the 1901S quarter, and you'll see, just like other coins on our key date list of recommendations, it far outpaces the vast majority of collectible United States coins. For collectors who want coins that are destined to rise strongly in value in the years ahead, the 1901S quarter is a coin you should really carefully consider. We're also going to explore why the 1901S is so rare and desirable. There are several reasons for this, but on top of that, numismatic researchers have pieced together evidence suggesting it was the terrifying San Francisco earthquake and fire of 1906 that was an additional limiting factor in the survivorship numbers of the 1901S quarter. In that discussion, we'll actually be taking a stroll down the streets of old San Francisco with some absolutely incredible film of the city, both before and after the earthquake. Are you ready? Then let's get started. All right. Before we journey back in time, let's first study the long-term value trends of the 1901S Barber quarter. So here is the home page of rarecoins101.com. To access the key date coin list, surprise, you just click on the link where it says key date coin list. So we go to the key date coin list, and we've got this introductory material here before we actually get down to the list. And there are actually four groups that we've got here. They're broken up according to their level of performance. So the first group is the good group, and there are about 70 coins on this. And then you've got the better group, which is a smaller number. And then the smallest group of all is the best group. And then we also have what we call the classic rarities group. Now, the 1901S Barber quarter belongs to the better group. So we just need to go up here to the better group. And then we find the link. And this link here, you see, will take us to a page that's dedicated to the 1901S Barber quarter. So let's go ahead and click this link. And now we're at the page dedicated to the 1901S Barber quarter. Now there's some material here that talks about the history of the 1901S Barber quarter, and we'll come back to that in just a few minutes, but I first want to show you the coin itself, and then we'll get into the value trend charts right away. So here's the coin, and this is a very nice example pictured here. And this little bitty S here, it just makes all the difference in the world. Now, you should know that for about the last 100 years or so, there's been unscrupulous individuals who have taken a common date 1901 quarter from Philadelphia that did not have a mint mark, and they attached a phony mint mark there. And there's still some of those alterations around. So it's imperative that if you're interested in buying a 1901 S quarter, or really any valuable coin whatsoever, that you buy a certified example from a reputable seller. Now, I do have some information on the Rare Coins 101 site that will help step you through, give you some advice in those areas of concern. Now, one time I got a semi-angry email from somebody who said they couldn't understand why this coin was named the Barber quarter, because they couldn't see any connection whatsoever to a barber shop. And as I explained to the individual, this was actually named after the mint engraver Charles E. Barber, who was the designer of this coin, and there was no intended connection whatsoever to a barber shop. So now I'm not making fun of the person who asked the question. Asking questions is how you learn, and I welcome all questions. So let's go down to the chart. The first chart you see here is for the quarter, the 1901 S quarter, in fine condition. And it shows what the estimated retail value is from starting in 1990 and goes up to the present time. So in 1990, the estimated value of the 1901 S quarter in fine condition was around $2,450. And just a few months ago, the estimated value was selling for around $16,000. Now you see, interestingly, it actually peaked around 2009, 2010, and that was at the end of the rare coin bull market that we enjoyed from 2003 to about 2010 is how long that lasted. So and then since then, the prices went down and have stabilized a little bit. So the fact that this coin has such a long-term record of appreciation that's been stable or even down off its all-time highs, uh, to be honest with you, that's an indication that right now might be a pretty good time to get one of these, because we have every reason to believe that at some point prices are going to take off like a holy terror and start rising sharply again. So you notice here this line is called the trend line slope. And the trend line slope is calculated based on how well this coin has done in terms of percentage gain. And the higher the number, the 21.97 you see here, and the steeper this slope, this line here, the better the coin has done in terms of percentage gain. So we've also got a chart here for very fine and extreme fine and so forth. And when you take the average of the conditions that are evaluated and charted, you come up with a trend line average. And the trend line average of the 1901 S quarter is 18.78. And this is really good. And this is what the trend line average is, what is it tells us where, if any group, this coin belongs. And this 18.78 landed it in the better group. Now, how exactly do we know that's good? Well, let's look at an average or a common date coin of the same type. So every chart has got a link to that you can compare the coin to a common date coin of the same type. So if you just click this, and you go to a chart for a common date coin of the same type. In this case, we've selected the 1906 Barber quarter from Philadelphia, and it has a trend line average of just 2.24, and you can see the slope here is very minimal. And this is typical for a common date coin of it really about any coin type. Is the slope is very minimal with a small trend line slope number. And that's how you know when you compare that's how you figure out which coins have done the best when you make these calculations and compare them to one another. Now, I also want to point out that you can also look at every series of charts you can evaluate grades, conditions, how they've done since 1990. And you can see we've also got we've got value trends all the way back to 1950 for a variety of conditions. And 1901S quarter, you can see it's stair-stepped very nicely. However, there have been some periods where it's cooled off a little bit, and that is really quite normal for a coin. Even a rare coin as rare as a 1901S quarter, there are periods where it has cooled off or actually stagnated, and that's what we are seeing right now. But we can feel very confident that this coin is just going to take off someday because it's got such a long-term, glorious value trend history. Now, the 1901S quarter is just one coin that's recommended on our key date coin list. I encourage you to spend some time studying other coins that are listed. Take a look at the charts and compare them to common date collectible coins, and you'll see there is a remarkable difference in their rate of appreciation. And as I said many times, if your goal is to purchase coins that are destined to rise impressively in value in the years ahead, the key date coin list and charts are informational tools that will help you reach your goals. Why is the 1901S Barber quarter so rare? Well, every coin has a story to tell, some type of historical narrative, if you will. No, guys, not now. Sorry. I'm trying not to sound too much like Rod Serling here, but I can honestly say I've been inspired by his style, without the cigarette, of course, and the little skinny tie. We as collectors, we set ourselves up for greater success in the hobby by grasping the underlying chronicles of the coinage that interests us the most. For the coins in our survey that deserve a place on the key date list of recommendations, there is generally a fascinating backstory explaining why a key date has relatively limited availability, which in turn is what makes it a key date coin. And you know what happens when a small supply collides with a powerful demand. Prices rise accordingly. Now, the 1901S Barber quarter is the undisputed king of the Barber coinage, which includes, remember, dimes, quarters, and half dollars. Except for the virtually uncollectible and legendary 1894S Barber dime, the 1901S quarter is the toughest date within the entire Barber series to acquire. In fact, some experts rate the 1901S quarter as absolutely one of the rarest regular issue silver coins from the 20th century. Now, the San Francisco Mint struck not quite 73,000 quarters in 1901, which even for those times was a very low number. Why were so few of them made? Well, some researchers suggest the Mint still had not fully distributed the nearly 2 million S quarters produced just the year before in 1900, meaning not many new quarters were needed in 1901, so accordingly, production was very minimal. So, the initial tiny mintage combined with normal attrition were the primary factors explaining why the 1901S quarter is so rare and valuable today. But low mintage and attrition are probably not the full explanation for its rarity. Numismatic professionals have pieced together strong circumstantial evidence to suggest it was the San Francisco earthquake and fire in April of 1906 that claimed some of the 1901S quarter population, leaving fewer of them for collectors of today. Let's take a dive into this. It's now time to hop into our time-traveling machine and buckle up, going back to the streets of old San Francisco. This scene was filmed on April 14, 1906, just 4 days before a major earthquake shook the city that measured about 8.2 on the Richter scale, a very high number. As you can see here, this original film has been remastered to add color, clarity, and sound. It's amazing what today's technology can do with old footage like this. Now, I've linked to this footage in the credits section below this video in case you want to see more. It's utterly fascinating. The camera is on Market Street, heading northeast. In the distance, a few blocks up the road, you can see the clock tower of the ferry building located at water's edge of the San Francisco Bay. The U.S. Mint building that was in operation at the time is very close by from here, but you can't see it from this vantage point because at 5th Street you'd have to turn right and go about 1 block over to Mission Street. Unlike modern times, back in those years, coins issued by the San Francisco Mint primarily stayed within the city and the region. As you see people go about their daily lives and all the prosperous business activity, you can imagine lots of pocket change everywhere. Almost all of it came from the nearby San Francisco Mint in the few years prior to the tragic events of April 18, 1906. I don't know about you, but old street scenes like this give me an eerie feeling, knowing every person you see has been long gone for a long time. Some of them probably died because of the earthquake and fire, which took more than 3,000 lives and destroyed 80% of the city. The last known survivor of the great San Francisco earthquake of 1906 died in the year 2016 at the age of 109. Obviously, this footage was filmed after the earthquake and was taken from the same vantage point as the previous film you just saw, heading northeast on Market Street. You can see the clock tower of the ferry building, which survived the earthquake and remains standing today as a major landmark in the city of San Francisco. As you can see, the devastation was remarkable. Another building left standing in the aftermath of the earthquake and fire was the San Francisco Mint. When the Mint was built in 1874, the architects understood it was being built on a major geological fault line, and they thought it might be wise if it was designed to withstand a severe earthquake. Good thinking, guys. The Mint's entire foundation was constructed of 6-foot thick granite, which eventually earned it the nickname the Granite Lady. The Mint survived the rumble all right, but the earthquake ruptured subterranean gas lines throughout the metropolis, many of which burst into flames. Firefighters were unable to put out the fires because the city's water lines were also broken. There was nothing they could do to prevent the fiery devastation from spreading. The fires combined to create a giant inferno lasting 3 days, engulfing most of the city. By extraordinary fortune, the Mint building had its own independent water supply thanks to a large cistern system finalized in the Mint's basement just 2 weeks prior to the earthquake. So they had an emergency supply of water. As the fire approached the Mint, its employees stood on the roof and with a single water hose battled valiantly for hours, and they were able to save the building along with the $200 million in gold and silver coinage and bullion inside. Now I think you can see here on this photo up in the upper right hand corner, it looks like there's people standing there on the roof. As the immediate dangers dissipated and the smoke cleared, it became apparent the Mint was the only financial institution in the city that remained intact and operational. This was very important in the days and weeks following the disaster, as the Mint was organized as a clearinghouse for rescue funds coming into San Francisco and contributed mightily to get the city and its people quickly on the road to recovery. Today, the old Mint still stands, although coining operations were transferred to a new facility in 1937. But its place in history is not forgotten. Because of its vital role during the city's hour of greatest need, the Granite Lady has forever won the hearts of San Francisco. Okay, I'm back. When you consider that nearly all the homes, banks, and businesses in San Francisco were destroyed, it's not a stretch to assume many coins were also consumed by the disaster and lost forever. This photo right here is an example of that. The heat inside the Wells Fargo building was so intense, it melted stacks of coins and other metal into one big solid clump. Imagine all the thousands of coins destroyed in just this one example. Just have a peek at a current price guide for collectible U.S. coins, and you'll see values of San Francisco dimes, quarters, and half dollars that were struck a few years prior to the 1906 earthquake. They are generally higher when compared to their counterparts of similar mintage struck in the first few years following the quake. A pattern of higher pricing suggests a lower survivorship rate for those coins issued just before the massive earthquake. Of course, we'll never get an accurate handle on how many coins perished in 1906 San Francisco, but there sure is evidence that there probably were quite a few of them that were lost. This takes us back to the 1901 S Barber quarter. In studying old auction records, by 1914, collectors and coin dealers alike were recognizing there weren't many 1901 S quarters around, certainly not enough to meet collector demand, and prices have moved higher accordingly. Since then, well, we saw the stair-step pattern in the charts for the 1901 S quarter going back many, many years. It has a rich legacy and has enjoyed a really nice ride. Whatever the explanation may be for its relative scarcity, the 1901 S quarter is the leader of the pack for Barber coinage and has ranked highly on the want list for experienced collectors decade after decade. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for joining me. I'll be back with another video soon. Now, if you got something worthwhile out of this video, it'll really help me if you click the like button. Also, if you're interested in seeing more videos, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. I try to make my videos both informative and original. I don't see any point in repeating coin-related topics that have already been covered too many times to count. Anyways, that's my philosophy. Thanks again, and until next time, this is Dan the Rare Coin Man signing off. Happy collecting!